Hello everybody, my name's Edson and welcome back to a brand new video. This is one I'm so happy to bring you guys. This is an announcement video that yesterday Dead by Daylight brought to our attention, an update that we knew about from the developer update, but gave us more details on the Legion rework that's coming with the mid-chapter patch, which I think is this week or soon. I'm not sure. Very soon. I don't know. They address it by saying, people of the fog, since the release of chapter 11, The Darkness Among Us, which is the one that brought us the Legion, we have received a lot of feedback, both positive and negative. I mean, we're going to gloss over that. I don't really think anyone's saying anything positive about him. Even people that were playing him didn't really enjoy him. With this update, we aim to bridge the gap in the extreme playstyle of this killer and remove some of the ongoing frustrations when playing as the Legion as well as against the Legion. The following changes allow for direct survivor counterplay, reduce the potential for exploiting certain game mechanics, and bring the Legion's default abilities in line with other killers, all while retaining the core vision of this killer. Good. I'm happy. They have basically updated the two main parts of the Legion, the Feral Frenzy update, the Deep Wound update, and just some stats on the Legion himself. So I'm going to break this down as the Feral Frenzy update, the Deep Wound update, and then the Legion update. So the Feral Frenzy is the attack that the Legion does, where he runs really fast and he swipes at killers and he swipes at survivors and can hit loads of them and all of this. So the recharge time of Feral Frenzy is increased and now requires a full power gauge to use, or gauge. Once it has been activated, the Legion must wait until the power gauge is full to be able to trigger the power again. The duration of Feral Frenzy is increased. The Legion spends longer in Frenzy. The movement speed of Feral Frenzy is significantly reduced. The Legion moves faster than base speed while in Frenzy, but not as fast as they did before. The Legion can no longer see blood pools, in addition to not seeing the scratch marks while in Feral Frenzy. Feral Frenzy is immediately and automatically cancelled whenever the Legion misses an attack while in Frenzy, which is great. I like that. If you spin him, make him miss, he's out. And I like those updates. They sound good to me. Recharge time is increased. Duration is increased. Movement speed is decreased. Can't see blood pools anymore. And if he misses an attack, he basically cancels the Feral Frenzy. Now to the Deep Wound, which is the effect that you get. So like when you get hit in Feral Frenzy, you're in the Deep Wound and you have to mend yourself and all of this. The Deep Wound timer pauses for survivors within the killer's terror radius, regardless of whether they're in a chase or not, because the killer used to essentially just look at the ground and run backwards and then just like chase after them, and the bleed out time would eventually just make it so they fell over. The Deep Wound timer pauses while mending, which is what you do to get yourself out of the Deep Wound effect. The killer does not see the Deep Wound timer progress, only the wound bar to know that the Deep Wound has been applied. The Deep Wound timer progress is no longer reduced by regular Feral Frenzy attacks, so he can no longer reduce the timer by attacking the same person over and over again, which means hopefully people will stop getting tunneled by the Legion. So yeah, the Deep Wound update is the timer pauses when you're in the killer's terror radius, regardless of whether you're in a chase now. The timer pauses while you're mending. The Deep Wound timer progress is not seen by the killer. He just knows that you have it, and the Deep Wound timer progress is no longer reduced by more attacks in the Feral Frenzy. Then you have the buffs, essentially, because those were all sort of nerfs as such, or just the reworks, but they're kind of like making it so he's less powerful in those aspects. The buffs to the Legion are the Legion's base movement speed is increased to 4.6 ms. I don't really know what that is in terms of how fast he is now, but we'll see how fast he is when he gets played. The killer's terror radius is increased to 32 meters, so he's got a bigger terror radius. I can't remember what it was before, to be honest. But most of the Legion's add-ons are rebalanced and reworked to account for the changes to Feral Frenzy and Deep Wound status effect. So I imagine they've probably got rid of a couple of the ones that everyone was complaining about, like Frank's mixtape, which I think was the one that everyone was complaining about most. And the iridescent button add-on no longer requires the Legion to apply Deep Wound for the effects to be active. So yeah, that's the Legion. He's got a increased terror radius and increased movement speed now, to account for all of the changes to Feral Frenzy and the Deep Wound update. Is this going to mean he definitely sounds a lot easier to play against, especially if the people that played the Legion before were playing like they were, where they would just tunnel one person? You should be able to survive a lot easier now, and the killer won't get much done doing that. Is he going to be good enough to... Is this going to be good enough to make the people that want to play the Legion actually be successful with him? I don't know. I don't think... They've definitely rebalanced in a way of nerfing rather than rebalance just to rebalance, and kept him in the same sort of like power as what he was. Where will he be in the rankings of the killers? I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. He may get changed a little bit more in the future. I'm sure that may happen. Who knows? But this is a good step, a step in the right direction. Thank you so much, Behaviour. Thank you so much. Dead by Daylight, you are too kind for this. I'm glad this has happened. And I'll finally pump some blood points into the Legion now, because I no longer think he is ridiculously OP to tunnel people with. I will finally put some put some blood points in him and level him up and maybe give him a try. So that's been this update video. Let me know what you think of the Legion changes down below, and whether you think this is good, bad, whatever. I think most of the replies so far on Twitter, I'm recording this relatively close to when it's been posted, most of them are just very thankful. They're just happy that Legion is being changed. Both killers and survivors are happy. So hopefully this update is well received when it launches, and hopefully we can continue to improve the game through the community and Dead by Daylight, and everyone will be happy. But it's Dead by Daylight, so not everyone's going to be happy. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this, make sure you leave it a like, comment, subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll speak to you all soon. Take care.